Steve on the forum asks, I currently use the Arc browser as my browser of choice. I've created 3 separate profiles within the browser, one for personal accounts, one for work, and a third for Google services like YouTube. Each profile uses the Proton VPN extension, and at startup automatically connects to Proton VPN in each of the 3 browser profiles. Is this a reasonable approach to compartmentalize my online security for some reasonable level of privacy? Is there something else I should consider, such as using 3 separate browsers altogether? Thank you for your suggestions and guidance. I'll say about Arc browser, the separate profiles in the browser, like even though they're in the same window, they are like it's identical to separate browsers in like Chrome or Brave. I mean, profiles in Chrome or Brave, for example. So you're not going to, there isn't going to be like any communication between them. All the cookies are separate, that kind of thing. So it is, it should be functionally equivalent to using like 3 separate browsers, unless you were going to use 3 completely different browsers like Chrome or Firefox or whatever. I don't think that that provides a huge privacy benefit over just using multiple profiles though. So if that's the browser that works for you, I think that seems fine. I don't know if you have any additional thoughts.
Yeah, well, I mean, I always like to start and say that it's really nice to see when people like have a very conscious workflow that they really put time into putting together, and I feel like this is one of those where it's very clear you put time into like deciding how you want this to work. The cool thing about browser profiles is you can just have one browser and it's just one thing to update and maintain, though at least for me the profiles can get a little messy sometimes. So sometimes it is nice to have a secondary browser just for pure efficiency's sake, because sometimes it is a little obnoxious to use different browsers or different profiles in the same browser. I'm doing it now too. I think that if it works for you, then it works for you. It's a good level of compartmentalization. Kind of, I've said this before, and what I also tell clients, kind of the levels are like different browser profiles is kind of the base layer of compartmentalizing things. Then you can use different browsers altogether as kind of the next step. You can use different user accounts on your computer from there. Then from there, it's like virtual machines. Then from there, it's just totally dedicated separate devices. So kind of pick and choose where you want to compartmentalize things along that journey, depending on what makes the most sense for you. But I think it's a really good strategy. If it works for you, then it works. I'm doing something similar right now, but with like different projects I work on. So with Techlore, I have one browser profile. With Cake Wallet, I have another browser profile, and then I have a surveillance support browser profile, all within Brave. And then I have Molvat as kind of my default browser that if I open a link, it goes in this disposable browser that I don't have to worry about. And that might be helpful for you because I don't think Arc allows you to like select which, if you click a link in Signal, for example, it's just going to open your last used profile. At least it does in Brave. So it's nice to have a different browser to make your default to just open things in a disposable environment. And then you can make an active decision to copy a link and paste it into a specific profile if you're someone who's a little bit more careful about which profile to use for what. So that's one thing I'd consider. Thanks for watching this Techlore clip. This is actually a clipped version of a full-length video that talks about this topic a lot more thoroughly. So if you want to check out a lot more digital rights content, check out the main Techlore channel, and we'll see you over there.